You know, folks, I got to be honest with you. Years ago, I would scroll past clips of Charlie Kirk and I would listen for about 5 seconds and I would laugh and I would keep scrolling. Because to me, the dude was just a caricature of everything that is wrong with MAGA. And I just thought it was this over-the-top character, almost to the point that I questioned if this dude was just playing a character, if it was just satire. And so I'm guilty of assumption politics here, just automatically assuming that no one would ever take this dude seriously. And then one day I was talking with my good friend, Coach D. I had him on a live stream, and he begins talking about Charlie Kirk. And I was like, oh, you mean that dude? Is that dude a cartoon character? Is he for real? And he said, no, man, this guy's for real. He has an audience. People actually clings to every word that this dude says. He said, no, you shouldn't sleep on this dude. You should absolutely take him seriously because his audience takes him seriously. And that's when I began to dig in and realize just what kind of guy this really is. And no, it's not satire. No, it's not a caricature. No, it's real life. And in MAGA's world, this is a real talking point. Take a listen.
Is something that I hope will make Taylor Swift more conservative. Engage in reality more and get outside of the abstract clouds. Reject feminism. Submit to your husband, Taylor. You're not in charge. And most importantly, I can't wait to go to a Taylor Kelce concert. I can't say it without laughing. You got to change your name. If not, you don't really mean it.
Now, folks, I realize that that's absolutely ridiculous and it's absolutely laughable, and we can all sit here and laugh at it all day, but that's in the mainstream now. There was a time when that type of rhetoric would have just been over here in this little bubble, and we would have all seen it, and we would have all laughed at it, and we would have all kept moving because no one would have ever took it serious for 1 minute. But we need to take it serious now because this guy does have an audience and he is reaching young people. He is the absolute ultimate groomer too, by the way. What he does is he goes out here to these colleges and he demonizes education. He pulls up a chair and he says to college students, you're being scammed. College is a scam. Just come and listen to me and listen to my interpretation of this ancient book. And he does it in a way that he trolls and he makes fun of people, and people in the crowd sits back and cheers it on. And the damage that he's doing to the youth is something that we really need to stay focused on. I'm going to read you a quote here from the actor Jeff Daniels, because when I saw this quote, I said to myself, I want to talk more about this, and this is a perfect place to talk about it because it also applies to Charlie Kirk and the way that he's going about brainwashing so many today. Jeff Daniels said this. He said, under Trump, we've lost decency. We've lost civility. We've lost respect for the rule of law. We've normalized verbal abuse. We've normalized bullying. Out the window goes character, integrity. We're supposed to elect the best of us, not the worst of us. He's everything that's wrong with not just America, but with being human. And when I read that, I said to myself, that's one of the most spot-on analogies that I have ever heard when it comes to Donald Trump and MAGA and who they are. But we've normalized verbal abuse and we've normalized bullying, and that's what gives Charlie Kirk a platform. Years ago, we would have just laughed it off and kept going like I did when I first stumbled across him. I said to myself, this has to be a caricature. There's no way this is real life. People don't actually believe this shit, do they? And my good friend Coach D basically got me and shook me and said, yeah, dude, pay attention. This is real. These people do believe this bullshit. And I used to say to myself, well, it's not many people, is it? It's just a few, right? No, it's now in the mainstream. And we have a president of the United States who listens to the likes of Charlie Kirk and plays to that type of person. And that president has the Supreme Court. That president has the Senate. That president has the House. They have control of everything. And so when we see Charlie Kirk say these kind of things, yeah, we can laugh it off. And we can view it for the insane rhetoric that it is, but we have to realize that there's people that are absolutely buying into it, and it's a very dangerous style of rhetoric because people will buy into that, and it doesn't do anything to add any substance to their lives. All it does is continue to further their hatred, further their bigotry, and further their desire to control women. That's what this is really all about. He's going back here and digging and saying, wives submit to your husband. And that's something that years ago we would laugh off as just extremism. But that extremism is now in the mainstream. And it's all about having control. These people are so scared to death of change. And they're so scared to death of anyone out there having a say for themselves. Charlie Kirk would never want to be led by a woman. He would never want to be led by anyone that didn't share his narrow-minded vision for America. These people do not really understand what America was ever supposed to be about. They don't care about it the same way that you and I do. They view people like us as the enemy, and they say so. Charlie Kirk has also talked about how he's happy to see the guard on the street. He thinks this should have happened a long time ago. This is the type of thing he thinks is a good thing. He is a guy who was born in 1993, but he wants to go back to like 1933. And he would be perfectly happy there. He wouldn't give a shit either if this country was in the middle of a Great Depression. He wouldn't care as long as he was out there getting that microphone. And Donald Trump was willing to hand the microphone to the likes of Charlie Kirk. And that's why they'll never throw Trump under the bus. You have to understand that what Trump did was he gave these people a bigger platform and he legitimized it. When Donald Trump started latching on to the likes of Charlie Kirk, he legitimized the likes of Charlie Kirk. And so now Charlie Kirk is in this discussion whether we want him to be or not. And we could sit here all day long and talk about how he's an idiot, how he's an extremist, how that no one should take his views seriously. But what we have to understand is he's here to stay for now. And it's going to take a whole lot of work to ever get him back out of this conversation because he was allowed in. And that doesn't happen in any other profession. Nowhere else can that happen. You can't just go down to a football game and walk out on the field and ask the quarterback if you can throw one. They won't let you. They won't let you do that. Any walk of life you try to go into, if you try to just walk into a dentist office tomorrow and say, hey, I'm here to pull teeth, you wouldn't be allowed to. But in MAGA's world, anyone can be gave a position of power if they'll just line up and kiss the feet of Donald Trump. Anyone will be gave a microphone and turned up louder if they will just promise to always yell for Donald Trump. So Donald Trump gave Charlie Kirk a microphone and turned it up louder. What we have to do is get louder than that. We have to get louder and we have to rise above this. And we can. I always said it's going to take a while. I always said it's not going to happen overnight. But for far too long, what I think our biggest problem is, there is reasonable people out there that is just filled with doubt and they're afraid to speak up. And meanwhile, there are a whole lot of stupid people like Charlie Kirk who have all the confidence in the world of speaking up. And there is young, impressionable men that are listening to the likes of Charlie Kirk that will latch onto it and run with it. So when you start thinking about all the big issues that we face in this world, you think about everything it is that we're up against, you have to say to yourself, Charlie Kirk is here to stay, and we're going to have to combat the people and the kids that he's grooming and raising. So this idea of, well, we'll just let the kids save us, we have to forget about that one. It's up to us to save us. We have to do it. Because I used to sit back and I would look at all the photos and the imagery from the 1960s. And I would see the video reels of people throwing rocks at Martin Luther King. And we would see the images of the black people sitting at the counter being squirted with mustard and ketchup. And I used to see that stuff and I used to say, where did those people go? Because I was raised up by good people. I wasn't around that type of person. So I thought maybe that was in the dustbin of history. It wasn't. Those people, they raised the likes of Charlie Kirk. And Charlie Kirk is raising kids, and he's going out here to colleges, and he's grooming kids to hang on to that outdated racist rhetoric. So what we have to do is we have to dig in our heels, get louder, and never give up. We can't back down when it comes to this fight, folks, because they've been given a bigger platform, they've been given a louder microphone, and they have all the confidence in the world to spread that stupidity. We have to get all the confidence in the world to shout it down, and we can. And I do appreciate so many of you for sticking with me here on the channel. We have crossed over 800,000 subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. I do believe we'll get there before the end of the year. But I just want y'all to know that I really appreciate you so much. This is a platform that we've built together, and I appreciate all of you. So thank you so much for supporting what it is that I do. And I know we're in some crazy times. I know there's all sorts of news stories breaking every day so fast and so quick that we can't keep up with it all. And I know a lot of you feels overwhelmed. So what I always tell people, and I know that people on YouTube aren't supposed to say this, we're supposed to constantly be encouraging people to tune in and come back and hit like and subscribe and all that. But I always want to say to people, take care of your mental health first. If you ever need to take a break, step away, go spend time with your family, spend time with your significant others, spend time with your kids, go take your dog for a walk, listen to some good music, watch a good documentary, read a good book. Do whatever it is you do to take care of your mental health, and tune out for a while if you have to. And when you tune back in, don't feel obligated to go back and listen to the 10 videos you missed. Just pick up where you left off and get back in the saddle and keep going. But always remember to take care of yourself first, because we have to stick together. We have to take care of each other. No one's going to help us, folks. No, those people, they hate the ground that holds us up. So we can't look for anyone else for consideration. We have to take care of ourselves. So be sure you do that. And again, thank you so much for supporting what it is that I do.